In the spotlight tonight is Graham Allen from West Sussex, an adult careers advisor. His specialist subject is Sir Peter Scott. Vishal Navani from Cheshire, a student whose subject is national flags. Keith Stacey from Wolverhampton, a training coordinator, and his chosen subject, Test cricket, since 1945. And Mary Willmot from Tonopandi, a retired bank clerk, and hers is the television series The Good Life. Hello, I'm John Humphreys, and welcome to Mastermind, the show where a little knowledge is a dangerous thing unless it's all packed into 2 minutes. And that's because this programme's about finding out how much people know under the pressure of the clock. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Graham Allen.
And your occupation?
Adult Careers Advisor.
And your chosen subject?
Life and work of Sir Peter Scott.
Sir Peter Scott, in 2 minutes, starting now. To which preparatory school did Scott's mother send him when he was 10 years old?
West Downs.
Correct. What was the name of the fellow pupil at Oundle with whom he collaborated on a book entitled Adventures Among Birds?
Pass.
What was the original name of the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust when Scott founded it in 1946 at Slimbridge?
The Seven Wildfowl Trust.
Yes. With which family did he lodge while he was studying art at the State Academy in Munich in 1931?
Pass.
On which of the Galapagos Islands did Scott help to establish the Charles Darwin Research Station?
San Cristobal.
Santa Cruz. In which class of sailing boat did he win a bronze medal in the 1936 Olympic regatta?
Single-handed.
Olympic monotype. What was the title of Scott's book that was commissioned by Country Life as a follow-up to Morning Flight?
Wild Chorus.
Correct. What was the name of the Commander-in-Chief Western Approaches who asked Scott to design a camouflage for the 50 obsolete American destroyers that had been acquired in 1940?
Pass.
What is the common name of Branta sandvicensis that he saved from extinction in the 1950s by a captive breeding program?
Nene.
Yes. For his role in the rescue of the crew of which ship in April 1941 was Scott mentioned in dispatches?
Corina.
Cormoran. For which constituency did he unsuccessfully stand as the Conservative candidate in the 1945 general election?
Wembley North.
Yes. Scott studied which subject in his final year at Trinity College?
History of Art and Architecture.
Correct. In which year did Scott win the British Gliding Championship?
1963.
Yes. Starting in 1969, Scott made a number of trips to the Danube Delta, mainly to observe which geese whose migration had puzzled him?
Red-breasted geese.
Yes. On which cape in Antarctica did he visit the hut that was the base for his father's ill-fated journey to the South Pole?
Pass.
Which reserve in Lancashire was opened by the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust in 1975?
Martinmere.
Correct. Which boat did Scott skipper in an unsuccessful challenge for the America's Cup in 1964?
Sovereign.
Yes. In a search for the breeding grounds of which swan did he travel to Siberia in 1978?
Buick.
Yes. Who was the creator of the television series Survival, who invited Scott, I've started so I shall finish, to introduce some of the programmes?
Aubrey Buxton.
Correct. You had 4 passes. Cape Evans was the cape in Antarctica. Yes. Admiral Sir Martin Naismith was the Commander-in-Chief that I was looking for. The family he lodged with was the Jank family. And the name of his fellow pupil was Michael Dilke. Those 4 passes, but Graham Allen, you have 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Vishal Navani.
And your occupation?
Student.
And your chosen subject?
National flags.
National flags in 2 minutes. Which symbol of Malta's heroism has been on its flag since 1943?
The George Cross.
Correct. What is the colour of the world's only single-coloured and non-patterned national flag?
Green.
Yes. On the Australian flag, how many points does the so-called Commonwealth star below the Union flag have?
5.
7. In 1897, which country first adopted a flag of green, yellow and red that became regarded as the Pan-African colours?
Sudan.
Abyssinia, Ethiopia now. In which year was the cross of St. Patrick added to the Union flag, giving it its present appearance?
1801.
Yes. In January 2004, which former Soviet republic officially restored the so-called 5-cross flag that had been in use over 600 years previously?
Georgia.
Yes. On the Chilean flag, what does the white area symbolise?
The Andes, the snow of the Andes.
Yes. By what name meaning sun disk is the red sphere on Japan's flag known?
Pass.
Which ancient navigational instrument appears on the Portuguese flag commemorating the country's history of exploration?
Compass.
No, armillary sphere. A representation of which temple appears on the flag of Cambodia?
Angkor Wat.
Correct. On the flag of Paraguay, which seal traditionally appears on the back as opposed to the state arms which appear on the front?
Seal of the Republic.
The treasury. According to legend, the Danish flag appeared as a sign of victory to which king in 1219?
King Knut.
Valdemar II. What name is given to the green pentagram, which is the central symbol on Morocco's flag?
Badge of Mecca.
Solomon. How does Honduras commemorate its former membership of the United Provinces of Central America in the center of its blue and white striped flag?
Stars.
How many?
5.
Yes. Which African country's flag is the reverse of the Irish tricolour in that it has the orange stripe at the hoist?
Niger.
Côte d'Ivoire. Which country's flag adopted in 1955 as a 5-pointed star representing the unity of workers, peasants, intellectuals, youths and soldiers?
North Korea.
Vietnam. On the flag of Kiribati, which seabird is featured above the sun?
Frigate bird.
Yes. The black, red and gold colours of Germany's flag reputedly derived from what in the Napoleonic Wars?
Pass.
Military uniforms. And the other pass, the sun disk on the Japanese flag, is known as Hinomaru. You had those 2 passes. Vishal Navani, you have 8 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Keith Stacey,
Your occupation?
training coordinator.
And your chosen subject?
Test cricket since 1945.
Test cricket. 2 minutes. Who captained New Zealand on their tour of England in 1949? 2 of his sons also played Test cricket.
Walter Hadley,
Yes, in the historic tied match of September 86, which Indian became the first player to appear in 100 consecutive tests?
Sunil Gavaskar,
Yes, at which ground did Richard Illingworth take a wicket with his first ball in Test cricket in 91?
Trent Bridge,
Yes, in February 98, which South African became the 3rd number 10 batsman to score a century in a Test match?
Pat Simcox,
Yes, when Donald Bradman was out for a duck in his final Test, which fellow Australian was at the crease and went on to make 196 before being run out?
Arthur Morris,
Yes, in which year did Viv Richards score a record 1,710 Test runs at an average of 90?
1976.
Yes, which New Zealander took 7 catches in a Test match of 1997 to equal the record by a non-wicket keeper?
Stephen Fleming,
Correct. Who opened the batting and the bowling for Pakistan in their home series against New Zealand in 1984?
Madassan Azhar,
Yes, for which country was Alok Kapali the first bowler to take a Test match hat-trick?
Bangladesh,
Correct. In 1952, which Indian scored a century and a duck against England, then repeated the feat against the same opponents in 1964?
Polly Umrigar,
Vijay Manjrekar. Which 45-year-old played in Zimbabwe's inaugural Test match in October 1992, 22 years after playing for South Africa?
John Tracos,
Yes, name the Sri Lankan captain who scored a century and then 94 during his country's first Test match in England in 1984.
Dulip Mendis,
Yes, in 1974, whose first decision as a Test match umpire was to give Sunil Gavaskar out, caught behind off the bowling of Jeff Arnold?
Arthur Fagg,
Bill Alley. Which New Zealand tailender hit David Allen for 22 runs in 1 over in 1966 and 3 years later became the first Kiwi to take 100 Test wickets?
Motts,
Yes, who in 1994 was dismissed for a duck in both innings of his first Test as captain, losing his wicket to Wasim Akram and then Waka Yunis?
pass.
I'll tell you, Mark Taylor was the answer to that. Your only pass. Keith Stacey, you have 12 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Mary Willmot,
Your occupation?
retired bank clerk.
And your chosen subject?
The TV series The Good Life.
The Good Life in 2 minutes. What's the title of the first episode in which Tom reaches 40 and announces he's giving up his job designing cereal packet toys?
Plough your own furrow.
Yes, in the day peace broke out, what does it say inside the card that Barbara gives Tom upon his release from prison?
Scarface. Welcome home, Scarface.
Yes, when Lenin the Cockerel escapes, what is the number of the double-decker bus to Kingston that he gets on?
Oh, 96.
71. What has Jerry decided to trade Margot in for, according to his postcard from Kenya?
A Maasai warrior.
A Maasai maiden, yes. In The Weaver's Tale, who plays Ernie the shopkeeper who sells Tom a loom for £10?
Oh, Ken Blatty.
Milton Johns. In Silly But It's Fun, why does Margot send her Christmas tree back to the shop?
It was about 6 inches too short.
Yes. In Whose Fleas Are These? What type of fur coat does Margot lend Barbara to go home in after she's been round to have a bath?
Leopard skin.
Ocelot. All 4 leading actors were appearing in plays written by whom around the time of casting The Good Life?
Alan Ayckbourn.
Yes. What breed of boar is brought in by Mr. May to service Pinky the Pig?
A great white.
Large white. In Just My Bill, where does Tom tell the Leadbetters that the watercress is kept while he's showing off the vegetables stored in the spare bedroom?
In the drawer.
In the B-Day. In which London suburb were the exterior shots of the Goods house and garden filmed?
Pass.
In The Thing in the Cellar, which library book with strange recipes is Barbara reading?
Ancient fishes of the world.
Forgotten Foods. In The Windbreak War, into what appliance do Barbara and Jerry load the dirty plates after drinking too much pea-pod wine?
The fridge.
The freezer. In the episode I Talk to the Trees, which composer do Mr. Wakely's tomatoes love?
Delius.
Yes. What's the title of the last episode of the regular series in which Tom and Barbara drink to the good life with Jerry's champagne despite having had their house trashed?
The anniversary.
Yes. In The Pagan Rite, which of Tom's possessions has Barbara cut up in order to make shoes?
His wetsuit.
Yes. In Say Little Hen, what colour does Barbara paint the chicken house?
Pink.
Pink, indeed, is what she does. And you had 1 pass, and it is Northwood, the London suburb, where those exterior shots were done. You had the 1 pass, as I say. Mary Willmot, you have 9 points. Right, a pretty close round there, so let's have a look at the scores. In 3rd place with 8 points, Vishal Navani. 2nd place with 9 points, Mary Willmot. Joint 1st place, 12 points, are Graham Allen and Keith Stacey. So we move to round 2 now, our general knowledge round. If there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into account. So let's get on with it and ask Vishal Navani to join us again, please. And I think I'm right in saying you are our youngest contender.
I am indeed, yes.
What made you decide to have a go at it?
Curiosity, see if I was good enough, and they were happy to let me on, so I thought, why not?
Sure they were. What about the interest in flags?
I've always started reading, looking at maps and flags ever since I was a little kid, really. I had this big atlas at home, and it just kind of grew from there. I've just always been interested in other cultures, so...
There's a fascinating protocol with flags, isn't there? Which flags you can fly with certain others and how all of that happens.
Yeah, there's like sea flags, naval flags, when you fly at half-mast. It's interesting. It reflects a country's culture when they allow their flags to be flown and stuff as well. The Americans always fly them, but the Nigerians only let them out for special occasions. So, yeah, it's interesting.
What's the weirdest one, do you think? Or the most unusual?
Nepal. It's the only one not to have a rectangular flag. It's like 2 pendants, but it's quite cool, actually. I like it. So
2 pendants?
2 pendants, kind of triangles, yeah.
Well, it's a fascinating subject, and you scored 8 points with it. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What name is given to the oven used for firing pottery?
Kiln.
Yes. Which animator who typically works with plasticine got his first credits as a director on Creature Comforts in 1990?
Pass.
Which English poet, famed for his riotous living and many love affairs, joined the fight for Greek independence in 1824 but died of a fever before seeing serious action?
Byron?
Yes. Literally meaning people, what name is given to the group of languages widely spoken in the southern half of Africa and to the people speaking them?
Hotse?
Bantu. Whom did Queen Victoria succeed to the throne in 1837?
George IV.
William IV. Which country are the Moluccas, formerly known as the Spice Islands, part of?
Philippines?
Indonesia. Canaletto is renowned for his paintings of which city, where he was born in 1697?
Venice.
Yes. The actress Liv Tyler is the daughter of the lead singer of which American rock band?
U2?
Aerosmith. Which luxury train first ran from Paris to Istanbul in 1883 and was revived when the restored version made its maiden journey from London to Venice in May 1982?
The Orient Express.
Yes. Which English actor plays Professor Severus Snape in the Harry Potter films?
Pass.
In which Turkish city was the military hospital that Florence Nightingale took charge of during the Crimean War?
Sebastopol.
Scutari. Which unique form of transport has been made since 1948 by what is now the Coventry-based vehicle division of Manganese Bronze Holdings?
Trucks.
The Black Taxicab. Which Spanish-born artist's first major work, completed in 1895, is called Girl with Bare Feet?
Picasso?
Yes. The streets around Arbat Square form which capital city's old quarter?
Prague?
Moscow. Which scientist was offered the presidency of Israel in 1952 but declined?
Einstein?
Yes. Which gas was originally known as radium emanation and given the chemical symbol EM?
Xenon?
Radon, who became manager of Bolton Wanderers in October 1999, leading them back to the Premiership via the playoffs the following season.
Sam Allardyce?
Correct. And that's your time. You had 2 passes. Alan Rickman plays Professor Severus Snape, and Nick Park was the animator. 2 passes. Vishal Navani, you have 15 points.
Thanks.
And now Mary Willmot, please. Now, you've chosen a programme in which the humour was very gentle.
Yes.
Was that the appeal?
Yes. And also they've been shown so many times, I think, on television. Everybody seems to know a lot about them.
Well, indeed. But what was the appeal of it?
I think it came at a time where people were a bit fed up with working class sort of and comedy, and they wanted something sort of slightly middle class and gentler, and it was about the ecology in a sort of the twee way, I suppose.
So you don't think it was deliberately trying to make a point about the ecology? I mean, it wasn't politically motivated?
I think it was a point about someone trying to get out of the rat race, which a lot of people like to do.
That's true. Well, you have 9 points at the moment with your knowledge of the good life. Let's see how you do with general knowledge.
Right.
Starting now. Who was rescued after going missing in the Sahara with his co-driver in the Paris-Dakar rally in January 1982?
Mark Thatcher.
Yes. In which West Bank town was Yasser Arafat buried in November 2004 in the compound where he'd spent his final years?
Pass.
On British television, who introduced the satirical series That Was the Week That Was?
David Frost.
Yes. In which country is Sidi Bel Abbes the old headquarters of the French Foreign Legion?
Libya.
Algeria. Which of James Bond's adversaries was played by Richard Keel?
Jaws.
Yes. The last living specimens of which bird were killed on the island of Elde off Iceland in 1844?
Great Auk.
Yes. Which conductor founded the London Philharmonic and Royal Philharmonic Orchestras?
Thomas Beecham.
Yes. Who had his first hit single as a solo artist in 1973 with the Bob Dylan song A Hard Rain's A-Gonna Fall?
Pass.
Which term for an imitation West Country accent used by actors was coined in the mid-20th century?
Cornish.
No, mummer set. Which homemade weapon consisting of a bottle of inflammable liquid is named after the Soviet foreign minister who first ordered their production during World War II?
Molotov cocktail.
Yes. Which actress was fired from the set of the film Something's Gotta Give just a few weeks before her death in 1962?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Which Commonwealth country's first Prime Minister was Sir John Macdonald in 1867?
Canada.
Yes. Which figure of speech, where apparently contradictory terms are used in conjunction, has a name derived from the Greek for sharp and foolish?
Oxymoron.
Yes. On which lake was Donald Campbell killed in his boat Bluebird in 1967?
Coniston Water.
Yes. In poetry, who detained the guest that rose a sadder and a wiser man the following morning?
The Ancient Mariner.
Yes. Which psychiatrist, founder of the School of Individual Psychology, introduced the notion of the inferiority complex?
Freud.
Adler. In which mountain range is the Pass of Roncesvalles, the site of the battle in which the Basques massacred the rearguard of Charlemagne's army?
In the Pyrenees.
In the Pyrenees is exactly right. You had 2 passes. Brian Ferry was the singer. A Hard Rain's A-Gonna Fall, and Yasser Arafat was buried in Ramallah. 2 passes. Mary Willmot, 21 points. And now Graham Allen, please. When we talk about the life and work of Sir Peter Scott, there was an awful lot of life packed in, was there not?
Certainly was.
Extraordinary man. Looking at the things he had: naturalist, artist, war hero, Olympic sailor, glider pilot, broadcaster, author. What was it driving him, do you think?
I mean, he had a very inspirational father, but his mother was also inspirational as well. His father, though we saw very little of him, wrote from Antarctica to get the boy interested in natural history, which he did. His mother also passed by him great people. His godfather, J.M. Barrie, the playwright, made him a fellow of the Zoological Society. And basically, I think she encouraged him to have a very non-conformist attitude to life. So consequently, he was getting out, delving into rock pools, punting, delving in trees and woodlands, that sort of thing, when other Edwardian children were perhaps being more restrained.
What was his greatest achievement, do you think? I mean, the thing that we'll remember him for in years to come?
It probably is, ironically, the panda symbol, because that is probably one of the icons of the 20th century.
The
And
World
that-
Wildlife Fund.
Worldwide Fund for Nature, as it's now called.
Yes.
One of its earliest projects was Operation Tiger. If we didn't have that, we probably would not have tigers now.
What a man. And you scored 12 points. 21 points is the score to beat, though, so let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge, starting now. Who did the poet laureate Ted Hughes liken to an oak tree in a poem celebrating her 95th birthday in August 95?
Pass.
The skin of which goat-like antelope, an inhabitant of the mountains of southern and central Europe and southwest Asia, can be made into a soft, pliant leather?
Chamois.
Yes. In shipping, what do the letters VLCC represent?
Pass.
Which Italian river is spanned by the Ponte Vecchio?
The Arno.
Yes. All in the Family was the American version of which British television
Till
series?
death do us part.
Yes. Which chemical element, which has the atomic number 98, is the only one named after an American state?
Ohio.
Californium. Which Swiss-German dialect word, literally meaning a thrust or a blow, is used for a sudden revolutionary outbreak or a coup d'etat?
Junta.
Putsch. Which Venetian painter is known by a name meaning little dyer, which derives from his father's occupation?
Canaletto.
Tintoretto. Who replaced Estelle Morris as Secretary of State for Education and Skills in October 2002?
Kenneth Clark.
Charles Clark. Which American president captured the prevailing sentiment of the American people in the 1920s when he said, the chief business of the American people is business?
Hoover.
Coolidge. What was Spike Milligan's real first name?
Pass.
A version of which small piece of office equipment was patented by the Norwegian Johan Valler in 1899 and is commemorated by a giant model of one outside Oslo?
A stapler.
A paperclip. Of which city is the Master Cutler the second most important civic dignitary after the Lord Mayor?
Sheffield.
Yes. Who became Britain's first female judge when she was appointed Recorder of Burnley in December 1956?
Pass.
The Weihenstephaner in Freising near Munich claims to be one of the world's oldest what?
Markets.
Brewery. What name is given to an examination of tissue from a living person to determine the presence, cause or extent of a disease?
Biopsy.
Yes. Which town was known as Durnovaria in Roman times?
Winchester.
Dorchester. Had a Chester in it. You had 4 passes. Rose Heilbronn became our first female judge. It was Terence, not Spike Milligan. VLCC stands for Very Large Crude Carrier. And Ted Hughes was referring to the Queen Mother as an oak tree. 4 passes, Graham Allen, 17 points.
Thank you.
And now Keith Stacey, finally, please. Test cricket since 1945. A reason for that time span?
No, none really. Would quite like to have done the whole lot, to be honest, but give it a whirl.
But why cricket? I mean,
I love it. I love the combat, if you like. It's sort of like war without bullets.
But isn't our old idea of Test cricket going to die one day? Because 5 days is a very long time for a single sporting event.
Yeah, I think in general that's the way it is. I mean, Test cricket matches now very rarely get to 5 days. Quite often, they're finished after 3 and 4 days in some cases, especially if the bigger nations are playing the smaller nations, such as Zimbabwe or Bangladesh. They can be over in next to no time. And I mean, England rolled over the West Indies in 2 days, so yeah.
You wouldn't have said that a few years ago.
No, absolutely not. It would have been the other way around.
We do have, England rather, has the best cricket team
England
since...
and Wales.
It's true, absolutely true. Yes, indeed. Have the best cricket team since...
Since Mike Brearley era, definitely.
So how far back is that?
We're talking 77 to 81 when Brearley was captain.
So why is that? What happens suddenly to improve the game? And you suddenly get an influx of better players. Why is that?
Well, I don't think it's that they're better players. I mean, you look at the 80s, you had Gower, Alan Lamb, Graham Gooch, Geoffrey Boycott, Ian Botham, all in the same team, and they were lousy. But you've got a team now. You've got an England team who bowl as a team, work together in the field. They've got a very good captain, a very good coach, and a very good system.
Right, well, 12 points so far with your knowledge of cricket. 21 points is the score to beat. Let's see if you can do that with general knowledge.
Okay.
Which landmark did Blondin first cross on a tightrope in June 1859, later repeating the feat on stilts?
Niagara Falls.
Yes, what's the name of the Japanese form of fencing, usually using bamboo staves?
Kendo.
Yes, which hospital, for those formerly described as the criminally insane, is situated near Crowthorne in Berkshire?
Broadmoor.
Yes, which James Bond film was set in the fictional Crab Key in Jamaica?
Dr. No.
Yes, which Paris square has also been known as Place Louis XV, Place Louis XVI and Place de la Révolution?
Bastille.
No, Place de la Concorde. Which affliction of the eye made it increasingly difficult for the artist Monet to discern colour in later life?
Glaucoma.
Cataract. Which 1829 Act of Parliament allowed Daniel O'Connell to take his seat in the House after he'd won a by-election in County Clare?
Pass.
Which raid on Germany in May 43, officially codenamed Operation Chastise, was led by Wing Commander Guy Gibson?
Dam Busters.
Yes, in Greek mythology, which stables did Heracles cleanse by diverting the rivers Alpheus and Peneus?
Pass.
By what abbreviation are the underground railway systems in German cities such as Berlin and Hamburg generally known?
DBV.
U-Bahn. Which country hosted the Winter Olympics in 1956 and the Summer Olympics in 1960?
Italy.
Yes, which gunman of the Wild West is the subject of a ballet by the American composer Aaron Copland?
Billy the Kid.
Yes, which popular piece of English pottery has a female version known as Martha Gunn?
Wedgwood.
Toby Jug. In 1992, Boom Boom provided which blues guitarist who died in June 2001 with his biggest UK solo hit?
John Lee Hooker.
Yes. Which novelist wrote Cobra the Dread, the successor to his memoir Experience?
Pass.
It was Martin Amis, I can tell you now. Your other passes, the Augean stables, were those that were cleaned out by those rivers and by Heracles, and the act that allowed Daniel Connell to take a seat in the House was Catholic emancipation. 3 passes. Keith Stacey, 20 points.
Thank you.
Well, not much in that. So let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 15 points, Vishal Navani. 3rd place with 17 points, Graham Allen. 2nd place with 20 points, Keith Stacey. 1st place, just pipped in with 21 points, Mary Willmot. Which means that Mary Willmot goes through to the next round. Congratulations to her. Do join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Exploring the defeat of Saddam Hussein and the chaotic aftermath of the Iraq War. The errors and arguments revealed tonight at 9 on BBC Two. Next, we're live with Spring Watch in the afternoon.